Sure, I'll keep my meals under $30 as per the policy. I'll make sure it's $30 every single time. I do a lot of fly-in fly-out travel for my job. Usually I am so busy with work while on site, or I am stationed somewhere with food options I don't want to waste my calories on, and I don't eat anything the whole day or just buy a coffee. Our employee expenses policy at work is $30 a day, which is mostly fine. But there are some high cost of living cities, and sometimes my meals go above that policy because there is not many options. Especially if I want to eat healthy, which is important when you are constantly on the road. Plus, so many airports have completely shut down their food courts and haven't reopened them yet, so there's hardly any options but fast food. So I submit my expenses one month and I have gone $1.50 over the daily limit because I treated myself to a coffee that morning as well as a lunch because I was tired after the god-awful early flight I had to take. The company had recently changed their policy and now a different set of people are approving expenses. The previous people didn't mind going over by a few bucks because it balances out with trips where I didn't eat anything, but this new group are absolute sticklers and rejected the expense, citing I was over the daily limit. I tried to argue I had 10 other visits that month in which I didn't eat a single thing, but they still weren't budging. It really left a sour taste in my mouth. Now every single visit I force myself to spend as close to $30 as I can because fuck them. My husband is happy because it means I now bring back slightly squished but free food for him. I feel bad for wasting food, but often I just buy a meal and eat a few bites and throw it in the bin. However, the expense policy is $30 a day, and by God I am going to stick to it now. While in the past I might have billed $100 for the entire month because I didn't bother to eat, I am now billing twice or 3 times that. I also used to push myself to keep working all day, but now I religiously take my 30 minutes to go and buy some food, so that's 30 minutes less work they are getting from me too. Our expenses policy is $33.33 per meal period. So 3x daily. $100 a day. And we just get the full amount as part of traveling. Counted from when you leave your house to when you get back. No need for claims. And if you spend less, the difference is a thank you for the pain in the ass that is traveling for work. If you spend more, in this case, covering any work-related expense, not just over-limit food, the customer just has to sign off on it, since they're billed directly, for that to be claimable as well. No customers we'd bother to travel for would quibble over a rounding error's worth of extra coffees. Beautiful. I used to do the same at my last job. If we had to stay past 8 p.m. we got a free meal delivered and cab expenses. After being ducked around on a few minor items. Guess who started staying until 8:01 p.m.? A lot. Hey man, if you still want to stick it to M, just pay $30 on someone's bill who looks like they could use the help. Win-win. I used to expense account the unused balance right on to a gift card at the restaurant to make up the difference up to the allowable amount. Did this every time. Then you have about 3 options. Here is where it's fun to be malicious. 1. Use gift card toward next meal that you expect exceeds allowance. 2. Save all these small gift cards. $1 here, $5 there, to take home and use on your own tabs on a night out away from work. Or my favorite 3. Use the gift card that your company is paying for to immediately towards your alcohol beverages. Separate tab. Right then and there. My first business trip. My manager called me in and pointed out my food expenses were low. Well, I grabbed McD's for breakfast, a sandwich at the convention center, and we did Denny's for dinner. Your per diem is $75 a day. $152040 is the split, and you only need recipients if you go over $50. Now, what were your food expenses again? Quote, ouch, $30 a day? I think that is well below most expense policies. 10 years ago it was $75 a day at my first real travel job. Sometimes if I had money left in my daily budget, I'd stop in at a restaurant and get myself a $25 gift card to use later. I don't really have limits now. They just don't want bottles of Dom P showing up on the lunch tab. Unless clients are there, then spend whatever. If I am traveling away from my family, sleeping in a bed that's not mine, I'm going to at least enjoy full-service meals. That sucks. I work for a super cheap game company and they limit us to $66, which by the way hasn't changed in at least 10 years. Depending on the year, it might be $22 per meal or just $66 per day. I really can't even keep the policy straight. I can't even imagine a $30 daily limit. That said, I have no problem covering my own booze and stuff. But shit, $30. Unbelievable. They probably pay you shit too. At one of the restaurants I worked at, we had a regular guy with a similar deal. He got so much money a day for food. He rarely spent that much. So whenever he was in town, he'd come in and spend $15-ish on dinner and pay with his personal card. Then he'd ask for a gift card for random amounts of money, like $28.79, and charge it to his company card. He told me he uses the gift cards to take his wife to dinner on date nights. That's a ridiculously small number for daily food in the US while traveling. Maybe try buying meals and giving them to people on the street. Saves getting the food and ending up wasting it. It's been a while since I did a lot of travel for work. But back then, it was a $75 per diem. Cash prepaid. Unless you were in a high-call location. I went to Wisconsin once. I'm Canadian. And the bean counters right about died when they saw the exchange rate for us to have $75 USD per day. My current job just expenses meals. No alcohol. On the company credit card. I spent most of my 20s being poor. So I know how to survive on $5 to $10 per day. I miss being able to buy booze and clothes with my leftover per diem money. $30 a day seems really low to me. Of course, this depends on where you are and food costs there. But I work for the state of Kentucky and any meals are reimbursed at $8 for breakfast, $10 for lunch, and $18 for dinner. That's flat. No receipts needed. On a 3-day training, I once bought a pizza for dinner and had it for 2 nights' dinner. And I believe breakfast one day too. Still claimed the $8 per $10 per $18 and nothing was said. There are of course restrictions on when we can claim meals. The bean counters really don't count very well, I've found. $30 for a day's meals? What cheapskates. Sounds like you need an LLC and card swiper. You charged yourself $30 to cook for yourself. I used to travel in Sundays to give me a full week of on-site visits. After 3.75 years I was told Sunday travel would not be reimbursed anymore. Was told to keep work-life balance in check. But I knew it was a way to cut costs. I showed how that would mean I'd have to go back a second time each month, causing higher hotel, daily, etc. expenses and actually make work-life worse. Wouldn't listen nor care. So I adhered. Started taking the red-eye on Monday morning. Renting a car for the week and flying back Friday night. Expenses tripled but all fell within policy. I was fired 3 months later. If you notice anyone homeless on the street, maybe buy them a meal when you don't expect to hit your $30 max. At least the food won't be wasted. Can you stop by a grocery and get stuff there? Take home stuff like granola and chips. I used to do this all the time. Also, your company's auditors are trash. Also, keep taking your breaks. When a company tells you who they are, listen. Good on you. I hope you find a company that appreciates you. Another good idea to avoid food waste is to pick someone in line and just be like, I have up to $30. I need to spend. What would you like? Quote. Oh yes. Do what you have to do. As others suggested. If you feel guilt about letting food go to waste. If you happen to see someone in need, pay it forward and offer to buy them a meal. That way you stick to the policy and help feed someone else. Stick it to the stickers.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.